Now, Public Interest South Africa is backing Parliament's ad hoc committee decision to endorse advocate Kholeka Gcaleka as the preferred new public protector. The organisation says there was a need of a competent presence to guide its operations following the suspension of advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, and Gcaleka, as deputy, was the right person to step in. Let's bring in Tebogo Khaas from Public Interest South Africa for more analysis. Tebogo, thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. I have to ask you this. Why do you support, let's start here actually, why do you support her name being brought forward to Parliament?
Thank you for that question, particularly how you phrase it, because we do not support her per se as an individual, but we support her nomination and the fact that she is fit for the job as far as we are concerned. She has exuded the kind of competencies, attitude and aptitude to carry out the responsibilities of that office. And to the extent that she also done well in the interviews, we believe that she's the right person for the job. And we're not by any stretch of imagination saying that the other candidates were woeful, but we think that she's cut for it. She's got the experience. She's deputized for 3.5 years or more. And during her acting stint, she's acquitted herself very well.
And, you know, what about the argument by those political parties who say that they don't want her there? There's been a lot of allegations in terms of her clearance of President Cyril Ramaphosa in the investigation of the PPSA's office on the Phala theft. Now, you know, it might be correct allegations or not. At the end of the day, she comes into this position officially, if she does come into it, with that cloud. Are you not concerned?
Well, sorry, I'm laughing, but I mean, this is laughable because let me tell you why. We had 3 reports, one from SARS, one from SA Reserve Bank, all clearing the president. Now we've got another report from the public protector also doing the same thing, clearing the president. But all the noise we've been hearing is about her unsuitability for the job based on that Phala report. Why is it that we never hear that Edward Kisweta or Leseho Khanyago is not fit for that job, they must resign because they've cleared the president? But then we've heard all the chorus being sung about the lack of competence or suitability of the the acting public protector for the gig. This is, don't you find that a bit puzzling? That there's an eerie silence. I mean, the silence is so loud by the DA and the EFF and others, insofar as the rest of the other people are concerned. But lo and behold, it is only one report, the public protector report. So you can see that it is just highly politicized. It's got nothing to do with her suitability for the job.
I think, you know, coming to your term puzzling, I think what I find puzzling or concerning, at least as a South African, is how the Public Protector's Office has become so politicized. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's been politicized because that is where politicians found it is an easy, least costly mechanism to be used to advance their political agenda. And without having to go to court, because oftentimes in court is expensive to go to court. Okay, political parties do get funding from the taxpayers to do their job, but also they would have no time to actually entertain meritless type of investigation or claims that they may put to court. And they are clogging the system that is meant to be servicing the poor and those who cannot afford legal services, as it would be the case in civil matters. So they're using it just for political purposes. In fact, to advance their own political agenda. If you look at, say, EFF Deputy President, for example, he had a report which he was not lawfully entitled to, I think, from the intelligence agencies. And he took it to the public protector, the suspended public protector for investigation. They moved away with it, and nothing happened out of it. In fact, nothing was found out of that. So it is all a political tool for most of these politicians. And it's very absurd that the resources that could have been used to help Abu Mama Gogo Dlamini, as the public protector would want to say, is being now directed on issues that are purely political, that should be left to be addressed within the National Assembly chambers or courts if they feel so strongly about. And now the public protector, at some point, the office ran out of funds to actually even do their core work.
Just lastly, Tebogo, looking at the tenure of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, of course, it was riddled with a lot of, court findings against some of her reports, right, where she would even be told by judges and even the Constitutional Court that she had a lack of understanding in the law. But is it fair to only put her there? I mean, she had a deputy in the form of Kholeka Gcaleka and a whole team. So it wasn't necessarily Busisiwe Mkhwebane's reports, it was the PPSA's report. So, I'm just trying to get to the fact that Kholeka Gcaleka, in all honesty, is also part of, the legacy of the previous public protector, or the currently suspended one.
No, absolutely. The buck stops with whoever it's at the helm.
At the top.
If there's a problem with South Africa, we don't say Minister X, we say the president is not delivering because he's got a cabinet. He can then decide who members of his cabinet are not performing. And to the extent that suspended public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane was the voice, actually you could see the kind of fervor she would attach to some of these cases which were politically charged to make sure that they actually get the type of attention and prominence, to the utter exclusion of those many others that could have been deserving of their time. So she deserved most of that. In fact, I wrote in 2017 that the worst thing that could have ever happened to that office of the public protector is Busisiwe Mkhwebane, and I still stand by that assessment today. And it has been vindicated by Parliament having recommended impeachment by National Assembly.
Well, I think, for the sake of all South Africans, we hope the public protector at some point becomes exactly that, an office that protects the public. Thank you so much for your time. Public Interest South Africa's Tebogo Khaas.